Hi, hello, welcome friends to our Smart Easy Make YouTube channel. As a part of conceptual learning, we are under the technical discussion on thermodynamics subject. In the previous video, we have covered the three chapters of thermodynamics, namely basic concept, energy interaction and first law of thermodynamics. Those who haven't viewed this video, you can make use of the link available in the description box. In this video, we will be putting some lights on steady and unsteady state process. To begin with, we should know what is a control volume. Take any one open system devices like pumps, compressors, which are all have both mass and energy interaction with the surrounding. Here I have taken pump for our study. The dotted line in this region represents the control volume. It controls the properties of the fluid. Moving on to the definition of the steady flow process, the rate of flow of mass and energy across the control surface are constant. Also, at a steady state of a system, any thermodynamic property will have a fixed value at a particular location and will not alter with time. Here comes the most fascinating part of our channel, the brain teaser. There are two cases in this question in which a tap is filling water inside the vessel. The water is flowing at a rate of 5 kg per second in case of entry region, and the vessel has a drain plug which drains the water at a rate of 5 kg per second in the left side case, and it drains at a rate of 3 kg per second in case of right side case. The question here is, which is a steady flow process? To answer this, at any point of time, the water inside the control volume of left side case will be 0. So the left side region here is a steady flow process. We are getting into some mathematical derivation part of control volume analysis or open system analysis. Take a vessel or a cylinder having inlet side and exit side. Here the individual parameters P1, dV1, dm1 represents the pressure, volume change and mass change at the inlet side, and P2, dV2 and dm2 represents the pressure, volume change and mass change at the exit region. According to the work done formulae, the displacement or the flow work is given by the mathematical relation W is equal to P dot dV. By substituting this relation in the entry side, we will be getting W entry is equal to P1 dot dV1, and in the exit region we will be getting W exit is equal to P2 dot dV2. Then we are moving on to the mass and energy balances of the relation. So the first part is conservation of masses, means that the inlet side mass must be balanced with the exit side mass. This is given by the continuity equation. So M inlet is equal to M of exit. The second one is the conservation of energy, which is given by steady state equation. Here we will be balancing the energy parameters in the inlet side with the energy parameters in the exit region. So U1 represents the internal energy at the inlet side, P1 V1 represents the displacement work at the inlet region, plus half C1 square represents the kinetic energy at the inlet region, and GZ1 represents the potential energy at the inlet region, plus Q dash represents the heat supplied to the system. The same parameters would be applicable in the exit side with a simple change that instead of Q dash we will be having control volume work done WCV. By simplifying this equation, we will be getting the final equation as H1 plus half C1 square plus GZ1 plus Q dash is equal to H2 plus half C2 square plus GZ2 plus WCV. Here H is equal to U plus PV. H is the enthalpy and U is the internal energy. So what is the difference between enthalpy and internal energy is pretty clear based on this equation. Enthalpy is the heat capacity of the body, whereas internal energy is the heat content of the body. So let us see some of the steady state devices and their energy equation. The first device here is a nozzle. Here for nozzle we have four assumptions. The first assumption is that it should be a steady flow process and the change in potential energy will be negligible here. And the third assumption is it should be an adiabatic process, means that Q dash is equal to 0 and WCV is equal to 0. These are the four assumptions for nozzle. By substituting these four assumptions in the main general equation of the steady state equation, that is the conservation of energy equation, we will be getting the final result as H1 plus half C1 square is equal to H2 plus half C2 square. In case of nozzle, the exit velocity will be very much higher compared to that of inlet velocity. So the inlet velocity case is negligible for the nozzle parameter. So by neglecting the inlet velocity term, you will be getting the final result as C2 is equal to square root of 2 times H1 minus H2. The next device is the diffuser. The assumptions for the diffuser will be same as that of nozzle. By substituting that, we will be getting the equation as H1 plus half C1 square is equal to H2 plus half C2 square. Here in case of diffuser, the inlet velocity will be higher and the exit velocity will be very less. So the exit velocity term is negligible in this case. So the final equation becomes C1 is equal to the square root of 2 times of H2 minus H1. Moving on to the third device, which is turbine. The assumptions for the turbine are the flow is a steady flow process. The second assumption is the change in kinetic energy and the potential energy are negligible. And the third assumption is that the process is an adiabatic process. Q dash is equal to 0. By substituting these three assumptions in the equation, we will be getting the final equation as H1 is equal to H2 plus WCV. So WCV can be rewritten as which is equal to H2 minus H1. The fourth device is the compressor. The assumptions for the compressor are same as that of turbine. So by substituting that, we will be getting the final equation as H1 plus WCV is equal to H2, whereas WCV is equal to H1 minus H2. Then the fifth steady state devices here is the throttling devices. So here are some of the examples I have mentioned for the throttling devices. The one is capillary tube, the second one is partially opened valve, the third one is the porous plug, and fourth one is the flow through constriction or a small orifice. What are the assumptions for the throttling devices are? It is a steady flow process and the change in kinetic and the potential energy is 0, and the work done, WCV, control volume work done is 0 in this case, and the fourth one is it should be an adiabatic process, Q dash is equal to 0. By substituting these four assumptions in the equation, we will be getting the final result as H1 will be equal to H2. This clearly states that the throttling devices are isenthalpic in nature. The enthalpy will be constant for the inlet side as well as the exit region. Then comes the definition for unsteady or the transient flow process. The rate of flow of mass and energy across the control surface are not constant, means that it keeps on changing with respect to time. Also, at an unsteady state of a system, any thermodynamic property will change with time inside the control volume. So we will be analyzing the energy for transient flow processes. Here the inlet side parameters are Mi dot, Hi, Ui and Zi. Here Mi dot represents the mass flow rate at the inlet region, and Hi represents the specific enthalpy at the inlet region, Ui represents the specific internal energy at the inlet region, and Zi represents the datum at the inlet side. The same as in the case of exit region with the superscript as Me dot, He, Ue and Ze. So we will be finding the conservation of mass and conservation of energy for the transient flow processes. First, conservation of mass. In this case, the control volume rate of change of mass is given by the relation as dmi by dt minus dme by dt. Here Mi represents the mass at the inlet region, which will be varying with respect to time because of the transient flow process, as well as the mass at the exit region Me will be varying with respect to time because of this transient flow phenomenon. So the final equation becomes Mi dot minus Me dot. So this is an important relation. So you will be using this mass equation to solve the problems, as well as we will be moving on to the energy equation. To deal with the energy equation, we have two important assumptions in this case of unsteady flow process. The first assumption is that the change in kinetic and the potential energy are neglected. So the total energy is equal to summation of kinetic energy, potential energy and internal energy. So the change in total energy is given by change in kinetic energy plus the change in potential energy plus the change in the internal energy. So according to the assumption, the change in potential energy and the kinetic energy are neglected. So the total energy change is equal to the internal energy change. The second assumption is that incoming and the exit specific enthalpy is not varying with time. means that H value will not be varying with respect to time. So dHi by dt is equal to Hi and dHe by dt is equal to He. So you will be using those two assumptions to get the unsteady state energy equation. So the first one is dE by dt of the control volume energy change is given by the relation dEi by dt minus dEe by dt. Here Ei represents the energy terms in the inlet side and Ee represents the energy term at the exit region. So by substituting all the energy terms available, we will be getting the final equation as dE by dt of the control volume is equal to d by dt of MiHi plus half Ci square plus Gzi plus Q. Here MiHi represents the internal energy change and plus half Ci square represents the kinetic energy at the inlet region and Gzi represents the potential energy at the inlet region plus Q is the heat supplied to the system minus of d by dt of MeHe plus half Ce square plus Gze plus Wcv. Here MeHe is the internal energy available at the exit region and half Ce square represents the kinetic energy at the exit region and Gze represents the potential energy at the exit region plus Wcv is the control volume at the exit side. So we will be applying two assumptions for this equation. I will be getting the final result. By applying the first assumption, what is the first assumption is that change in kinetic energy and the potential energy is neglected. So by neglecting the kinetic energy term and the potential energy term in this equation, we will be getting the final result as dE by dt of the control volume is equal to d by dt of MiHi plus Q minus d by dt of MeHe plus Wcv. Also you apply assumption 2 in this above equation. What is the assumption 2? Incoming and exit specific enthalpy won't be varying with time. So by applying those assumptions in this equation, we will be getting dE by dt of Cv is equal to Mi dot Hi plus Q dash minus Mi dot He minus W dot Cv. This final equation is the unsteady flow energy equation. To end up the session with answer at a glass question, quickly say whether this process is a steady state or unsteady state. A man is blowing a balloon, whether this process is a steady state or unsteady state. So the answer for this is that this process is an unsteady state because the mass inside the balloon, that is our control volume, will be keeps on increasing with respect to time. So the balloon blowing process is a unsteady state process. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the channel for early updates. Thank you.